question. Here goes. Guy coming in.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Hey.
Morning, Guy.
And friend.
Hey. And
Good morning.
good morning. Ginger might be going to Pompano, so I guess that's what's happening.
Yeah, we're in Pompano.
Nice.
And we're in Pompano and we're engaged. Yay.
Hey, congratulations. Condolences.
Congratulations. Oh, that's so fun.
Oh, hush.
It makes me remember
Oh,
getting
Ken,
engaged right in
son.
front of all of you.
Yeah.
I love that.
So is that Cat?
Yeah, yeah. How wonderful.
Brad.
So
Well done. Well played.
yeah.
Hell.
Ginger, I read Bart your post on Facebook.
Nice.
It was very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yep. Good.
Yeah. It was actually on his AA birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. 36 years of ungodly hell.
When was it? I'm going to put it on my calendar.
I know.
September 22nd.
22nd.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Of course, on the equinox.
36 years.
Morning, Kat. Karin, good
Corinne.
morning.
Ah.
Now, somewhere I saw Julie. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
Julie's
set
here.
up.
I got a new baby here. This is Bill.
Wow.
Who
He's
is
a this Bill,
it?
and he's a foster fail.
Oh,
Oh, he's so
look at there.
cute. Hi, Bill.
So was I.
Look at Bill.
Yeah.
I like foster fail. That played my childhood. I kept living in a different family every week. I just thought that's what people did.
Oh, Lord, that's so sweet.
Good puppy.
Foster fail. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Together.
It's all making sense now.
He said, yeah.
Oh.
The thing that hurts me is how rigid the rules are. Being a foster parent of a pet, I got declined by 2 agencies as unfit to raise a dog. I raised 5 children. What does that say about my kids?
I filled out some forms online just to be eligible to adopt a dog, and it was pages of questions, and I just was like, wow.
Yeah, I remember when I was adopting my dog from Nina's Road to Rescue. Not only did I have to verify my proper care of my dog, I had to list all 4 cats and their veterinarian when they were born and their ages. I mean, it was.
Yeah, that was what this was. It was Nina's, and I mean, whoa, it was intense. Hi, Corinne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
What? What did you say?
Hi. Hello.
Oh, hi. I'm out of it. I fell.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm laid up.
Oh no.
What did you hurt?
Like a dainty lady, my left ankle.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Huh?
Darn it.
Yeah, I know. Just sucks. I feel like in a Monopoly game where the little man says, "Go straight to jail. Do not pass go."
Oh,
Not collective knowledge.
Corinne, I fell in January and tore up my left leg too. Left legs are dangerous.
Oh, well, what can you do without him?
Hop, perhaps.
Yeah.
Very.
Oh.
We're sorry.
Right,
Well,
let's go
then
ahead.
you would be all right. Then you would just be all right.
There you go.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
exactly. Very
All
good.
right, I like that. Thank you, Julie.
That's
That
like our
was
country
great. That was
lately.
perfect.
There it is. Live with that. I'm all
The problem is I've thought I've been all right my whole life. It's just now since I've turned 80, I'm discovering how wrong I was.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my.
Good. Sue Ellen's here. Hey, Corinne, I invited Sue Ellen.
Oh, awesome. Hi, Sue Ellen.
She's just chiming in.
See if I can
So
find
we
her.
have a newcomer. Try to be nice, everybody.
No, do
Not gonna happen.
No, do not do that.
Say that to the man sitting next to you, please.
Yeah. When we met, she gets in my car and it's full of crap because I've got a 10-year-old.
This is our first date. Our
And she-
first date.
and
It is, I can't even get in the car. It's like, where do you think I'm gonna sit?
And
There was
I-
stuff at the floorboard, there were CDs, there was stuff everywhere.
I lived out of my car, but so I said I could have cleaned this up, but it would have given you a false impression. Somebody I'm not. So you lead with the hand that you're going to be dealing with.
There
So,
you go.
Sue
There
Ellen,
you
are you
go.
there?
She's there. She's on mute,
Okay.
so we might have to give her a little coaching.
Well, now I was the person who used to go collect the coffee cups that were covered with mold out of his office at the church and take them and wash them.
I get mad
Oh my God.
at and they say, "Can I throw this one out? It's got mold on it." I said, "Okay." I hate to
No, I don't. I stopped asking.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So Sue Ellen, if you're on a laptop, bottom left of the screen, if you click audio, it's the microphone with a line through it. We'll have your audio. And if you click video, we'll be able to see you. Or not. You could choose to remain.
There she is.
There she
There's
is.
That's Sherry.
Oh, there's Sherry.
Sherry knows the rules. We're just going to go ahead and start, Sue
Okay.
Ellen. So this is, go ahead and mute everybody.
I shall.
This is the part where I do a little bit of instruction before we get into the actual meditation. And I promised everybody today that we would listen to some neuroscience. We've been exploring the way the brain works. We've looked at the default network of the brain and the way that it is the part that creates the ego. It's what's called self-referential thinking, that it interprets everything that we experience through the lens of me. So in terms of your brain, you literally are the center of the universe. It's also got the part called social cognition that has got you worrying about everybody, what they think about you, about conversations that you had, what you should have said, what you shouldn't have said, comparing yourself to other people. It's the part of you that's always jumping past to future, catastrophic experiences from the past and projected catastrophes in the future. And it's also the part that's always looking at your world and saying, what's wrong with this? Why it shouldn't be like this. It ought to be different than it is. So your brain's doing all this stuff without your permission. Okay, so then we looked at your vagus nerve and the fact that you got this nerve that runs through here, that when it shifts, totally shifts your worldview. That when you're dorsal, when you go into the part that's fight or flight, you feel like you're under pressure to perform, to accomplish, to do things, to have everybody like you, to be productive. And then last week we looked at neurotransmitters and we started looking at how different neurotransmitters affect the way you feel. And it was an amazing awareness to me when one of my therapists said, do you know what a feeling is? And I go, yeah, I have. He said, no, what is a feeling? It's simply a neurotransmitter filing, okay? So now we're gonna take it, I said, the news
So
is
it's
even,
energy.
it's just energy. That's why earlier this summer we did thoughts, feelings, just energy. release the form. We'll get into some of that today. So let's start with a quote from Jack Kornfield in his book, A Path with Heart. And this is a master blueprint book. You should read it, reread it. I've probably read 30 times. And it's a blueprint for the journey. And in a part called A Necessary Healing, he says, just as we open to heal the body by sensing its rhythm and touching it with deep and kind attention, so we can open and heal other dimensions of our being. The heart and feelings go through a similar process of healing through offering of our attention to their rhythms, nature, and needs. That's not the one I wanted. I'm sorry. Bear with me.
But it was good.
It's good. Okay. This is the one I wanted. When we first undertake the art of meditation, it's indeed frustrating. Inevitably, as our mind wanders and our body feels the tension it's accumulated and the speed to which it's addicted, we often see how little inner discipline and patience or compassion we actually have. And it doesn't take much time with a spiritual task to see how scattered and unsteady our attention remains, even when we try to direct and focus it. While we usually think of it as our mind, if we look honestly, we see the mind follows its own nature, conditions, and laws. That's some of what we're studying now. And seeing this, we can also see that we must gradually discover a wise relationship to the mind that connects it to the body and the heart and steadies and calms our inner life. So the beauty of what's happened since 1991 is we can look at the brain, and you see old brain studies where they have someone's brain skull opened up and put little electrodes in, and the person be semi-conscious, they'd be asking them questions and try and figure out what they're feeling. Well, now we have functional MRIs that can watch neural pathways harden and watch protein tracks get laid down. So there's no guesswork now about what the brain is up to and what is causing the experiences that we're having. So one of the things that, given the fact that we talked about neurotransmitters, is that your emotions are not good or bad. You need to understand that. We may call them good or bad, but that's like calling the sunrise good or bad. It's neither one. It may depend upon your frame of reference, but in and of itself, an emotion is simply a biochemical reaction in your body. So from that, it kind of follows that, okay, then are they real? Well, they're real in the sense that they're really happening. But what we need to understand is that they're not reality. All right? They're not reality. They're really happening, but the cause of what's happening lies deeper than the emotions themselves. So we're going to listen to one of my favorite neuroscientists. And this is going to be about why you sabotage your life.
Is it this one?
It's probably, I don't know.
Recreational torture.
No. Here.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is.
Go. It's it.
That was going well, you ruined it. The job you loved, you made them fire you. Your brain has a sabotage program running, and the reason why will break your heart. Your nervous system has what I call a happiness ceiling, a maximum amount of good it can tolerate before it freaks out. When life gets too good, your amygdala literally sounds an alarm. This is unfamiliar. We've never been this happy. Something must be wrong. So your brain creates problems to bring you back to your familiar level of manageable misery. You don't sabotage because you're broken. You sabotage because happiness is literally coded as danger in your nervous system. Here's what happened. Somewhere early, you learned that good things end badly. Maybe love was followed by abandonment, success by criticism, joy by punishment. Your young brain made a logical conclusion. Good things are dangerous. Better to destroy them yourself than wait for life to do it. But look at what this is costing you. You're living at 40% of your capacity because 50% feels threatening. You're choosing familiar suffering over unfamiliar joy. Your brain would rather be safely miserable than vulnerable happy. Want to raise your happiness ceiling? Microdose joy. 10 seconds of good feelings, then stop. Tomorrow, 15 seconds. You're teaching your nervous system that happiness doesn't have to end in catastrophe. You're literally expanding your capacity for good, one moment at a time. I have a complete protocol for breaking sabotage patterns, including why you...
Okay.
So, you've heard some of this before. You've heard your brain is a pattern recognition tool. And it's not about what you think. That's not what's determining your emotional response. It's what has traumatized you in the past. So your brain is filtering everything, scanning for potential threat. Because this is our early warning system, 2 million year defense mechanism that was perfected by being able to see patterns in nature that were threatening in the past, sound an alarm that takes a half a second and puts you in fight or flight. Now listen to that. If you're shifting, you just shifted out of ventral and I'm happy into I'm in danger, okay? Weird is the emotion of I don't recognize this. And I tell the story of my big Rottweiler and a plastic bag blowing around the backyard by the wind. And he's sitting there going, ugh. Every time the bag blows, he jumps. And the bag chased him around the yard for about 15 minutes until he realized that it was just plastic. And then he shredded it in about 10 seconds. But to see a 110-pound dog chased by a plastic bag is hysterical until you realize you're doing that all day long. You're looking out and seeing plastic bags everywhere and going, ugh, ugh. Now I knew that for danger, but what they found is we're also sensitized to anything that we don't recognize. And joy is one of those things, true love. I've got another meme of Lady in the Tramp, and there's a hand coming down to her, and it says, and she's cringing like this, saying, my traumatized ass responding to genuine affection. We do the same thing with love. We don't recognize real love. Everybody in the past, think about at my age, how many failed relationships I have, okay? And every one of those sits now embedded in my amygdala. Anything that looks remotely like that fires off an alarm and shuts down my joy. Now ask yourself, why does he say do 2 or 3 glimmers every morning? That's where you're building your joy tolerance.
What he was saying, 10
exactly
seconds.
what he's 10 seconds. We really have to, when they say raise your deserve level, the good part of that is that we need to recognize that our brains are predisposed not to allow us to get too happy. Part of that too is how many times when you got happy as a kid and you're bouncing around doing your zoomies like a dog does, and your parent goes, God damn it, settle down, get quiet in there. And we got into trouble for being joyful. Got in trouble for being joyful a lot. So again, one of the things to watch is your brain is a joy stealer. And we tend then to get in relationships with people who are joy stealers to reinforce that idea that we're not good enough, don't deserve joy. So I told you the bad things your brain is up to that you don't know. Now we're going to go to a second one about why familiarity breeds contempt.
Do you know which one it is?
It's the next one down here.
This one?
Yep. I think.
Patient with coworkers, but irritated with your family. Your brain has 3 reasons for being cruelest to those closest to you. And the third one will make you rethink every fight you've ever had. First, emotional safety testing. Your brain knows these people won't leave, so it drops its social mask. With strangers, your prefrontal cortex stays on high alert, filtering everything. With loved ones, it relaxes. Your raw emotional state leaks out. You're not mean, you're just unfiltered. Second, proximity trigger accumulation. Every tiny annoyance with someone you see daily gets stored in your amygdala. Your brain builds a library of micro-irritations. That's why your partner chewing sends you into rage, but a stranger's doesn't. Your brain has thousands of chewing moments stacked up, creating emotional compound interest. But here's the third thing that changes everything. You're actually regulating your nervous system through them. When you're stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, your brain uses conflict to discharge that energy. Fighting with someone safe feels better than holding internal chaos. You're not angry at them. You're using them as an emotional lightning rod. That's why makeup sex exists. That's why you feel closer after fights. Your nervous system just uses them to regulate itself, then rewards you both with bonding chemicals. It's brilliant and terrible. Who do you owe an apology to for being your emotional dumping ground? They probably already know it's not about them, but hearing it hits different. You snap at your partner, but you're sweet to strangers. You're patient with coworkers, but irritated with your family. Your brain has 3 reasons for being cruelest to those closest to you. And the third one will make you rethink every fight you've ever had.
Okay. You're recycling. So, again, it's one of those unfortunate things that the brain does not forget the negative. It's Velcro for negative experience. It's Teflon for positive experiences. So without skillful intervention, you can see below the level of your awareness, your brain is going to make you negative towards life. It's going to make you negative towards the people that you love, and it definitely will make you negative towards yourself. Now, people come in, and even though they want to change, they'll argue for the reality of these constructs. And what we have to realize is these emotions, like I say, are accurate maps of your trauma. And that's why the research into trauma therapy has been so essential, because we realize how much it skews our interactions. And we also need to realize that it doesn't go through a thought process. So when I say to people, this is related to your parents, this is what's going on, they think that they're making a connection between, oh, my dad did this, or my mom did this, or this happened to me in school and I was shamed and therefore I'm doing this. No, that never happened. That never happened. What happened was a stimulus response thing got established that happens first in your body. So the first thing is that shift that I talked about. All of a sudden, I went from being present to being enraged, to being sad, to feeling like I want to hide somewhere. There's no intervention. There's no place in there for thought. Once that happens, it takes over your thought processes, and that's the storyline we keep talking about. The brain is made more for rationalizing what you're feeling than for seeing what's actually there. Hear that. How many times when you start explaining what you're feeling are you actually justifying what you're feeling? So the first place that this happens is in your body. Where we can catch it quickest is to feel that. That's why we're going to the bodily sensations, to be attuned enough to feel your body shift from present moment, which feels open, expansive, joyful, I feel worthy, I'm having a great time, to suddenly I'm struggling. And one of the people I used to cancel said, life just got hard. And what he meant was, I knew there was a shift from life being easy, and this is what we're seeking, because remember, first noble truth, life is dukkha, life is suffering. Suffering is being created by your brain. We're moving towards ease. How do I do that? And the Buddha answers by letting go of self-centered desire, letting go of what the brain wants in terms of establishing safety, and instead choosing vulnerability, choosing openness, choosing to be non-judgmental, reclaiming that child's mind which doesn't judge. So kindness essentially begins with kindness towards yourself. With people who have body image problems, I say, stand in front of the mirror until you can love what you see. Well, what I'm saying is, First, we have to let all the filters pass. And your brain is going to throw up all kinds of right, wrong, good, bad, judgmental things. And once it quiets down, as the Bible said, find the still small voice that's non-judgmental presence, non-judgmental awareness. Then look at what you see. And I guarantee you it's going to be much softer, much more open, much more receptive than what your mind does. Your mind is so cruel. So in our meditation today, we're going to begin to feel and to watch the filters as they unfold, watch the thought processes, watch the emotion, feel the tension in the body, and just allow yourself to gently relax, settle back into reality, trust it for a little while. We create a sanctuary. We know now trauma only undoes itself when you feel safe. That's why we're sitting on a cushion, okay? By ourselves, no external distractions. And even here, we won't feel safe. Like I said, when I first started meditating, I'd have panic attacks and feel like I was falling through the floor when I'm laying in Shavasana. But that's my brain. I can't blame it on reality now because it's just me and my brain. So we'll talk more about this later. Let's sit and have an experience and see what happens. First bell calling us together. Second and third bell calling us back to the present moment. Bring your awareness to the sensations of the breath. Allowing the exhale to slow. As the exhale slows, you automatically begin to move towards the beginner mind, away from the traumatized mind. Layering on the awareness that you're receiving sacred breath, the very spirit of life. Your true identity and the source of your worth. Not how you look or who you know or what you have or what you've done. But your identity. You are the very spirit of life, 13.8 billion years in the making, taking this form in this moment. And as all life is sacred, as a part of life, you're sacred too. You only need to claim it and bring it to awareness. Feeling the energy of the breath. Energizing every cell in your being. Feeling your body not as something solid, but a field of energy. Deeply embedded in the quantum field that's reality. Deeply embedded in the interconnectedness of all beings. You belong because you can't separate yourself from it except mentally. And why would you do that? Feel the energy radiating from your body. Particularly your heart, which has a magnetic field 5,000 times stronger than your brain. Soften and open your heart. Softening the belly to receive the breath. Scanning the body, feeling the sensations that are always there below the surface of your awareness. Sensations in the feet. The hands. The face. The jaw. Between the shoulder blades. Just gently and compassionately receiving the sensation. Watching any tendency to judge, to try to improve or fix, or to try and understand. And simply soften. Receiving the sensations with gratitude for the gift of being alive. being in this moment with all its gifts and treasures. As your awareness widens to receive the body, let it widen to receive the mind with the same non-judgmental compassion. Not letting the thoughts and emotions seduce you into trying to understand them, or trying to control them. Knowing they're just being generated by your brain, and say nothing meaningful about the present moment. Breathing into the mind and creating lots of room for the thoughts and feelings to move so that energy can disperse. Not identifying with the content of the mind, but with the spaciousness that what we thought was us is unfolding in. That spacious, non-judgmental awareness If you get distracted, start with the breath, the body. Softening the body, softening the mind. Bringing your awareness to your heart. Softening the heart, which is your presence. Connecting your inner world and the outer world. Feeling the flow of energy between you and the world, which is communion, reuniting. Letting go of the past, which keeps us closed and protected, and softening and opening to reconnect not only with your true self, but with the world we seldom see and the people around us who we seldom see because of our trauma. choosing vulnerability and uncertainty over the safety of the controlling mind. The body soft and receptive. The mind spacious, non-judgmental. The heart as wide as the world, projecting nothing, clinging to nothing. I'm awake. I'm aware. I open my heart to the world. Trusting the power of my spirit to transcend all energy and transform it into peace, to love and wisdom. righty. Guy.
I have a question about being predisposed towards the cruelty of your mind or the negative. Do you, on the other side of the spectrum, is there the possibility that like people exist where they're in so much joy, or there's, not necessarily joy, but like you're not seeing maybe an actual danger that's out there? Do you know what I mean? Like the other end of the spectrum of that.
Yeah. Okay. So what is the key for setting the monkey mind on overdrive? We know what the mechanism is now. Trauma. All right? So trauma tends to put the brain negative. What puts the brain back to positive? These are fundamental. You should know these things immediately. Here's the cause, here's the cure. What puts you back positive is nature. What puts you back positive is music. What puts you back in positive is dancing, is all those vibrational energies that are out there. So you can look and see in a lot of third world countries, people who live in poverty, and I remember the Vista volunteers who went into Appalachia and they go, well, you have no running water, you have no washing machine, you have no refrigerator. Well, they've gotten along for hundreds of years without it and didn't know they were supposed to be unhappy, all right? But the Vista volunteers left them unhappy and no way to get a refrigerator, because they couldn't get the economy in. So what we have is an entire culture that teaches us dissatisfaction with everything around us. All advertising is designed, you need this to be happy, you need this to be happy, you have to look this way to be happy, you have to have this relationship to be happy. People who don't have all those expectations and who live in abundance don't need to, it's not difficult for them to regulate quickly. And Brad's my teacher, Vasavada, he used to say, in India, people's egos are so thin, the part that controls everything. He says that it's like a little shell and you just tap it and it shatters. He says, you in the West are so encumbered with defense mechanisms that it's virtually impossible to get down to realizing that ventral level, which Jesus called the kingdom. So yeah, if we were not traumatized, we started out in the kingdom. We remembered. That's why we have that nostalgia, that longing for when life was easy. And I can even remember when Sundays we'd go out, go to church and we'd sit out on the porch and neighbors would come by, kids would do a pickup game of softball. Everything was easy. The whole day was expansive and seemed to last forever. None of that anymore. Not a single place in her culture. So the whole beauty is that everything I ask my clients to do now feels good. Go dance, go sing, go take a walk in nature, get a massage. So the more we do that, Guy, the more you're going to live in that place. Okay? So that's your primary mode. That's why they call it your original nature. We originally started out primarily ventral, in the kingdom, non-judgmental. We have to be taught to be fearful. We have to be taught to be judgmental. We don't start out that way.
So is there, back to his question, a way of being too much in that part of your brain to
get back?
I don't know, to miss a danger signal?
Okay, this, I'll tell you why that makes me. Who developed Zen Buddhism? Bodhidharma. What else did Bodhidharma develop? Kung Fu. Okay, so here you got a guy ready to punch you in the face. Where do you want to be? In your head fearful, trying to analyze what offense he's using and what defense you're going to counter with. Because I tell you, if you're doing that, you're going to get kicked in the head before you even see it coming, okay? So the reason we meditate in martial arts, they're doing it the same meditation in sports. They do it in race car driving. Art of Racing in the Rain has some beautiful stuff in it. High danger things, but you're only aware of the danger in the present moment. You're not filtering in. When your traumatized brain get activated, it reactivates all the trauma, not just that trauma, all the traumatic memories of your past, which is why you can get into such an overwhelm instantly. So no, if you're in the present moment, now, can you get so blissed out on your anandamide that you can't function? And that's that chemical we talked about before, the bliss hormone. Yes, you can get so blissed out like Sri Chinmoy, who I talk about. He's got his eyes rolled back in his head. Oh, life is beautiful. Yeah, but he can't drive. He can't cook. You know, he's got attendants who do that. You know, and the people who sing Hare Krishna all day long. Yeah, that's blissed out. That's wonderful. But again, Buddhism teaches skillful, not ecstasy. And there are all kinds of stories that differentiate between two different paths that people go on once they discover how to self-regulate to these. They're not higher states of consciousness. They're the beginning states of consciousness. And so there's a story of three men, they're walking out in the forest and they see a wall blocking the path. So they become curious, what's up there? And they boost the first guy up and he looks and he goes, oh my God, it's real. I can't believe it. This is amazing. And he jumps over the wall. The other two are going, what was that all about? And so they boost the second guy up and he does the same thing. He's just overwhelmed. He gets ecstatic. He can hardly talk and he's laughing. He jumps over the wall. Well, the third guy is beside himself with curiosity now. What in the hell is it? And so he manages to build up a ladder and a way of getting up and he gets to the top of the wall. And there's the Garden of Eden. Lion laying down with a lamb, peaceful people, fruit in abundance, everything's calm, joyful. But instead of going over the wall, he goes back down to tell the world that that's there, okay? That's the Bodhisattva path. The Bodhisattva path is the path of on earth as it is in heaven. It's the path back down now into the world, bringing that peace into the world that needs it, that's still in the illusion, that's still in the chaos of the defensive mind. And that's why I keep telling you, I was saying to Linnell, I may do a section next week on healing national trauma. We're living now in a country that we're traumatized and we're traumatizing each other on a daily basis. What we're doing here, without my consciously saying it, is helping us self-regulate. So in becoming part of the chaos and part of the trauma, we become an inviting back to self-regulation, back to calm. So, yeah, that journey back and forth.
we got it.
Yeah, it's the egoic mind that wants peace all the time. And if you live in that's not healthy either. That's a form of religious addiction. Okay, anybody else?
Today's lesson was real informative and helpful and bordering on profound. It was very good information, like the sabotage stuff in the 10 seconds. One thing that Monkey from the Messenger taught me to do was to smile after I meditate. And I think the term might be, shit-eating grin, which is a really strange term for a grin. But I try to do that, and it's my biggest smiles are after I meditate. And like when I take a picture now, I'm able to smile. I'm able to like smile because I practice smiling after I meditate. And I thought of that whenever he was like, practice your 10 seconds of joy. So anyway, it was just good stuff.
They suggest that you do that slight upturn of the corners of your mouth while you meditate, and not just while you meditate, while you exercise, while you're doing anything. It's part of what's called biofacial
Sends a
feedback.
message to your body.
Your whole body listens, and your brain listens to your mind. So if your body is sending signals of being comfortable, having fun, it will trick your brain into thinking that you are. But if you run around unconsciously with that habitual scowl of the earnest person, you know, I heard that, keep your nose to the grindstone, you know, shoulder to the wheel, or whatever it is, you know, and so you're Puritans in church. If you're holy, you look like you just smelled your own fart and sucked a lemon. You're just going, and that means you really understand the meaning of life. There's no color in the church. We can't sing. We can't let women show their beautiful hair because it's all just too seductive. You know, how fucking insane. They didn't celebrate Christmas in Puritan churches. We're reversing that. Brad and I were hippies. We're the ones who said, fuck that shit. Let's be colorful. Let's dance. Let's sing. Let's get out in nature. Let's get back to our roots. And that was the beginning of a kind of intuitive reclaiming that our very environment is toxic. And that if we got to get ourselves back to the God. And sing along, all you old hippies, you know what I'm talking about. So we're still doing that. If you want to know where all the old hippies are, look at your screen.
I take a little bit of offense on that one, but okay.
You're not an old hippie, but I'm saying there are a few of us left here.
You have to stop making these meditations so you're just talking directly to me, by the way. I just thought, I don't know if anybody else got anything out of that, but.
It's all of us. We've all got the same brain. And so the reason I said this is so significant, you get into some of the other meditations, and remember, the other half of meditation is compassion. Teaching compassion towards yourself, and to watch your brain operate will break your heart. It's like he said at the end of those things, the third one will break your heart when you see what your brain does to you. And because of that, what you do to other people. And it's not intentional. There's no blame. The beauty of these neurosciences is there's no blame. This is the brain doing what it does. It's not sickness. It's not pathology. It's nothing you need to take a pill for. It's the way the brain works. You take this kind of brain, put it in this environment, you get these results.
You know, we lived it yesterday in the laundry room. Do you remember what happened?
No.
I took out the bag of chips.
No.
I took out the bag of chips and I grabbed one, and we were having a conversation, and Bart was folding his laundry. And do you remember what happened?
No.
You said, stop chewing your chips in here. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I took the bag of chips and I left the room. But it's true. I mean,
yeah. So one of the things we know in terms of neuroscience
came out on me.
Right. So I go into overwhelm like that. I got an extremely sensitive brain. As soon as I get overstimulated, and that was the other one I wanted to show, it's not anger, it's overstimulation. And it can happen in a nanosecond. And then the tone changes because I go into an angry place like that. And what did I say to you after that?
Thank you for,
For understanding and not taking it personally.
there are times when I might
Very easily
shout
take that,
back.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Well, and that was part of what we listened to, that you're ugliest to the ones you love the most. Like when I remember that so well when my kids were little, that it was always a measuring stick for me, because my kids were so good when we went somewhere and with other people, and we came home and they just let loose. And then there was the other kind of kids that came to our house and they let loose. When their parents would come, they'd be really nice. And I always loved it that my kids were ugly at home, because I knew they were loved. They
Thank you.
felt it.
I agree with that.
Yes.
I agree with that. I tell parents, they're going to let it loose somewhere. Would you rather have them let it loose at home or in public? So, yeah, that's good.
Depended on how tired I was.
Yeah.
So when again, compassion. You don't get to choose your brain. You don't get to choose your childhood and your family. You don't get to choose your nation, your environment. So we land in a point where it's so painful that we're driven to, I either become aware or I become unconscious. And coming into awareness is a much better choice, but it's painful. And learning to love yourself, please, maybe next week we'll do something on self-compassion. And I can't tell you how many times a day I go, bless my little baby heart. Because I know that anything that's coming up like that is my little baby. That's my kid. That's not my adult. I still got to control him though. Yeah.
Tommy?
I love the lesson today that the brain's best function is rationalizing, which we know that.
Right.
But that the fix for that, the hack for that, which we practice in meditation every week, is to listen to your body, to get into your body and into the present moment, because it stops the rationalization, which requires going into the past and the future and dreaming up scenarios. It's just listening. It's listening to your body.
That's it.
What was that other one that was in there? He says you're I'll do it next time. It has something to do with 97% of what you're thinking in your day is just recreational self-torture. And that puts it about as elegantly as I can. We're so fond of it.
Yeah.
And we do it so well and elegantly.
Rationalizing
And we go to therapists
story
to find
making.
even more things to hate about ourselves and to try to control. And when we recognize it, and I tell my clients, this is not helping you get better. This is the same as cutting. Your brain is being rewarded because you're releasing dopamine because you're in pain, not because it's actually meaningful. There's no meaning in it.
So last week, I went shopping and there was this store, I went out of town. There's this store I really wanted to go to because it has all these cool things. And it was a Saturday and was in the store, and there were a lot of people in that store, and they had music going and they had a lot of stuff out. And I started to get the overwhelmed thing. But then, like what Tommy said, the rational mind said, but you came all this way to be here. You need to just calm down and focus yourself so you can actually do this. And so my brain just started just picking on me about being overwhelmed until I remembered. And I went, I have to get out of this space. It does not matter that I came all the way here. It does not matter. I have to now leave here. And it was tough.
Yeah, of course. So anytime you do something new, there's going to be a huge pushback from your brain. If changing was easy, we'd give people a book and say, here's how to handle this, and you do it. It takes 400 repetitions for your brain to not see it as danger or to even bring it up on your screen. So that's so much progress, Sherry. You know, those are kinds of things, spontaneous healing you look for, that all of a sudden I'm in a situation where I would have done this. I woke up and
I said, oh.
And actually were able to make a different choice. So first one before that is I'm awake, but I still make myself go ahead and do it. The other one is now I make a different choice. So that's great. That's great. Yeah. So let's get out. Go self-regulate. And by the way, anytime you're thinking about going to Buc-ee's and driving 200 miles to get there, that's automatically an insane thought, Jerry.
Hopefully it wasn't.
It wasn't Buc-ee's. It was this very cool antique
I know it
shop.
was. Come on.
It was
we all know
so cool.
Oh.
If y'all don't know, that's a chain of gas stations down here.
My kids love Buc-ee's. I don't understand Buc-ee's.
Cleanest bathrooms. You could eat off the floor of the bathrooms. And so people will drive past other gas stations just to get to a Buc-ee's bathroom here in the South.
Bye, y'all.
All righty, come on.
All right.
Homie.
So 3 rounds of home and a wow.
Unmute them.
Shake, shake and unmute themselves. Take a deep breath in.
Wow.
I'm watching Hail of dogs.
They know the home. That's the signal.
Yeah.
Time to get up. Yeah. All right. Did Bill have a good time today? I hope so.
Hey, Brad, love you.
Congratulations.
Yes.
You.
I and Ginger are engaged, if anyone missed that.
Oh, say it again.
I and Ginger got engaged.
Oh, yay.
Bill's nephew.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Right.
Mazel tov.
Kat.
Mazel tov.
Kat, you have to come meditate with us.
Okay. Sue Ellen wrote
I plan to.
in the chat. Thank you, Sue
Intended
Ellen.
to come today, but I just didn't get away from the house in time. I have to get up earlier.
Okay, well, we'd love to have you. I'll get you coffee or tea or whatever it is your husband brings you.
Sue Ellen said she got some help for her sermon tomorrow.
Oh.
Bart, you need to read my comment about chewing.
Oh. Just read that people who are bothered by someone else's chewing are highly intelligent.
Oh, there you go.
It's matter their hearing aids are set really well.
Love it.
Have a good week, everybody.
You too,
everybody. If you're in Shreveport, it's Revel time.
Oh, wow.
Oh, any of you Shreveporters are not that many.
Revel.
I'm doing Tai Chi next
Red
week
River
at
Revel.
4 o'clock on Sunday.
4 o'clock next Sunday? Okay.
Next Sunday.
Next
Happy
Sunday.
healing, Corinne. I hope you're doing better. And
Yeah, thank you. I love it that nobody wants to leave. Everybody's just still on and talking. I love that. But I'm going to leave now. Thank
Okay.
you all and love you guys.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.